What up, what up, what up, what up, what up,
Hey,
Williamsness family? How y'all doing? We are back with another edition of Williamsness to Share.
Welcome back. Thank you all for joining us.
We are so excited, man, because, we're moving along slowly, but very shortly. We're getting some feedback. Not yet has anyone gave us any feedback on our actual page yet, but we're getting phone calls and texts, and that's just as helpful. I am here. My name is Spencer. I'm here with my two lovely co-hosts.
I'm Tomika, and I have little Cece here.
We got Cece in the building. Today's show is very, very interesting. We want to be as diverse as possible. So today's show is in representation of the LGBTQ plus LMNOP community.
Damn.
We got someone very close in the building today who asked us to keep them private. So we're going to do that. We will only address them as Jay. Right now we have a very special guest in the building. We have Jay. What's good, Jay?
Hello, everybody. Hello.
Now, today we wanted to talk to you about, and I'm not really sure yet, how are we going to, are you in a situationship or are you single? Because
I've been with the same person for 8 years.
Okay.
So it can be a mixture of things. It can be situationship. It can be relationship. But right now, I wouldn't classify myself as being quote-unquote single.
Okay. So I'm just trying to figure out how we're going to interview you, the kinds of questions we're going to ask you. So as of right now, you do not consider yourself to be single.
So no, I wouldn't consider myself single. And I think one thing about me, I've been not so much caught up, but like in that I need a title sort of kind of thing. So I can say I don't have a title, but I'm not single. I don't know if anybody would get there, if that makes sense.
I get it.
It makes sense. So our first question is, how was your upbringing as a child? Did you grow up in a single-parent home, a two-parent home? How was that?
So I did grow up in a two-parent home. I did have my mom and my dad in the same household with me. Also my brother. So growing up in a two-parent home, I guess it was pretty cool.
That's what's up. When did you know you were ready to? Well, first, let's take it back. How do you think growing up in a two-parent home affected you as far as, your wants and desires for being in a relationship?
Judging by my parents' relationship, I can say, so I guess everybody looks at relationships differently. So looking at my parents' relationship, it was more so them working their 9 to 5 and then coming home, TV time, dinner time, we all ate as a family, and then it's kind of like off to bed. So I don't really get to see their whole outlook on their relationship.
Yeah.
I don't know like what they would have going on for the kind of, because it was only so much that I would be able to see. Yeah. Like I said, it's just I normally see them going to work, and then I see them coming home. I mean, I did hear like the laughs, and like we did bond as a family, stuff like that. But in my mind, being younger and coming up, I didn't see that as, oh, this is what a relationship is supposed to look like. Until now, with me being almost 30, I can see looking back on it now, like, oh, okay. Well, I remember when mom and dad did this. That's part of a relationship. So now I understand it being older versus how I did being younger looking at it.
That's what's up. Do you have any siblings?
Yeah, so I have an older brother. He is close to 40. Mm-hmm. I don't have a relationship with him. And I've talked to my dad about it before, and he feels like it's kind of his fault. Because he wasn't really around, and I can't really say that it's, his fault. Because my brother stayed in the same town as us, so there's no reason why he couldn't come to see me. Besides him, I have a sister who has 3 children, and then I have my other brother, and then it's me. So growing up in the household, it was just me and my brother because the oldest two.
A previous relationship with your father?
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, I like having siblings, but I'm closer to my brother who I grew up with in the household and my sister because I see her kids too. But my oldest brother, I mean, I don't wish harm or anything on him or nothing like that, but I don't have a relationship with him.
It's your oldest brother you don't really have a relationship.
Right.
Okay.
That's my very oldest brother. And like even at my parents' like wedding that they had, I really too much didn't even want to be around him. It was very vague conversations. He would try to have conversations with me, and I would just kind of like pass it off because it's like I don't know you. I don't like you're my brother, but I don't know you. So it's hard for me as a person to open up to someone who I haven't been around. Like I said, I don't wish anything back on him. And, you know, that's my brother, but I mean, I don't really know him.
That's what's up.
Are you the youngest? Are you in the middle? As far as
yeah. So I'm the youngest. I'm the baby,
Okay.
and I absolutely love it. Even though I wish I did have a younger sibling, and I wish it was a sister. I do. Because, you know, everybody likes to look up to somebody, you know, and I would have loved to have a little sister look up to me, you know. So I am the youngest, I'm the baby, and I want to change that.
Now, they always say the baby is typically the spoiledest one in the group. Are you like that in your relationships as well? Are you spoiled?
Of course. Like, what do you mean? Of course. Like, okay, so speaking on that, like, once you're spoiled, it just carries you. It's nothing that you can grow out of. So even in a relationship, I do have my ways where I know how to finagle things to be like, to get my way. So I know how to do that without saying I want something. You know, I may make a suggestion about something, or, you know, I may make a comment about something, and, you know, maybe days later or a week later, I'm getting exactly what I wanted. So being spoiled is like one of the best things that's like out here.
Now, I know, which I've addressed, that this episode will be pertaining to the LGBT community. But before we get to that part, have you ever been with someone of the opposite sex?
So yes, I have. And that was in my younger years. And to be honest, I feel like I was just doing that because of society and the way everybody looks at people. Yes. So I wasn't comfortable with myself at that point. Yes. And we all know how it is, like growing up in school and stuff like that. It's like, oh, he's gay and ill and stuff like that. But looking at it now, it's like, hey, I don't really care. But yeah, growing up then, it was, you know, pretty much trying to please somebody else and not myself.
So were you with women dating-wise or sexually or all together?
A little bit of both.
What was that experience like? Because I have other gay friends, and one of my friends said he was never even able to get aroused or a hard-on when he was with women.
I mean, I was. In that department with him, I don't know. I'm sorry, but I don't know, but I didn't have the issue.
Okay. And how old were you when you started, or how old were you when you knew that you were attracted to, I'm assuming at this point you was attracted to, you probably a little more bi than you are gay, or are you gay?
Okay, so I'm going to address a couple things with that one.
Okay.
I know that I'm gay.
Okay.
I know that. And it was a very young age. Very. Okay. So for me, I kind of have this theory of being born this way because I remember being in preschool, kind of being attracted to another guy. But of course, growing up, then there's attraction to the females. Okay. So that's why I'm going into like with the whole bi thing. Mm-hmm. Just for me, this is totally me. Okay. I don't really necessarily think people are bi. That's just me. Okay. Okay. It's honestly just me because I feel like you can be attracted to someone, but you don't want to like be with that person. And I don't know if people will really get that. Yeah. But deep down inside, there is one that you honestly want to be with. So like I can go outside today and I can see a female and I can give her a compliment the house down like I can. I'm like, she's bad, this, that, and third, you know.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean I want to be with her, but I still not consider being bi because I'm like, oh, I'm attracted to females. I'm attracted to the way she looks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean I'm attracted to her because I don't know her personality. I don't know anything like that. So I can be attracted to a female physically, but I'm not emotionally attached or attracted to a female.
I can take that.
Mm-hmm.
And are you a religious person? And if so, how does that play into, or how did that play into your upbringing once you, because I'm assuming at this point you are, as they call it, out of the closet. I don't necessarily like that term, but as you are, I'm assuming, out of the closet, are you a religious person? And if so, how did that play a part in your upbringing and you coming out?
I'm a religious person because that was my upbringing. Looking at stuff now, all the gays are in church. So all the gays are religious. I mean, like, just to be honest, look at your choir directors, look at your drum players, look at your piano players, look at some of the preachers, look at your deacons. So, I mean, all of them are in church, you know, and it's just kind of what you want to make out of it. I mean, I do believe in God. I do. That's how I was raised, and I do believe in that. And still to this day, I go to church. I do. I mean, I don't see, to me, anything wrong with it. Mm-hmm. And I don't feel like that's affected my upbringing because of the way I am. Because, again, it goes back to I don't feel like I chose this for myself.
Yeah.
You know, and being a PK, you know, that makes everything a little bit harder because it's like you have someone who's so invested into the word, and then just like everybody else, I feel like people pick and choose what they want to read and see out of the Bible. Just like being with another man and being with another man and stuff that's not in the Bible. Okay, sure, that's not. But reading in that same scripture where it says, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this, don't do that, and you're still doing it.
Yeah.
So they go to sin. One sin is not better than the other.
Correct.
You know? So I feel like if it wasn't put here for me, I wouldn't have it.
Very true. Because me and my wife sinned a lot before we got married. Anyway, before she has a chance to say something. Before we get into your friendship, what do you feel like you as an individual bring to a relationship?
That's really a tough question, honestly. And sometimes I feel like, and I know this answer is not true. Sometimes I feel like I don't bring nothing to the table, and sometimes I feel like I don't bring enough.
Oh, wow.
Because in arguments in the past, after being with someone for 8 years, you know, you keep hearing the same thing of, you know, I want that affection, I want this, and I want that. So it's almost like, well, when I sit back and look at what do you actually bring to the table, it's almost like I pause and I sit and thinking I can't think of anything, which I know I do bring stuff to the table. Mm-hmm. Like I'm a caring person. I do care about who I'm with, and that's one thing. Like I love hard, and this is only my second relationship. So my first relationship lasted. We were in a relationship for a year, but we were together for 2 years. Now, was that with a man or a woman? It was with a male.
Okay.
And then the relationship I'm in now, which is with a male, it'll be 8 years coming up on the 4th. Looking over it, I feel like there's more that I can do, mm-hmm. you know, and that's something that I'm learning each and every day, especially, you know, being with that same person. So it's a learning process. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like it should take this long, but I mean, to each his own. Mm-hmm. With me loving hard in my first relationship, where I fully trusted someone, mm-hmm. and then when they end up cheating, not necessarily physically, you still cheated in a way that I wouldn't have done that to you, mm-hmm. that just broke me, mm-hmm. and then that makes it harder for my relationship now because I get paranoid if I don't get a text back right away, you know, if I don't know where you are or anything like that. It's like I feel like I can't allow myself to really trust as much as I want to